You're welcome back to the Skills Challenge for 2024 here on Neokecci channel. What we try to do is to help to be a platform where all of us can learn together. And if you're looking for a resource on how to learn to code and get a developer job, this book by Quincy Larson will definitely be a very good resource for you. And just for your information, Quincy Larson is the founder of Free Code Camp, the platform we've been using all these days to be able to try and learn coding. Yeah, today we are on our 11th day of 100 days of code. I hope you're getting somewhere. So what I'd like to do today is to show you a few more resources. So this book is definitely a very good resource, and if you can't find the book itself, if you go on our in the comment section of this video on our Facebook page, we'll drop the link where you can read the book for free and also where you can listen to it as an audio. Just visit any of our platforms and you'll be able to get that link. So another resource that can be useful is Khan Academy. Khan Academy is a platform I use to teach my children mathematics, and it's been a very interesting platform. It's also a free resource and is very loaded. The way I love Free Code Camp is the way I love Khan Academy. And beyond just teaching children, adults can also gain a lot from it. You can actually get to learn a lot about sciences, chemistry, physics, biology, mathematics from this platform. Even computer science, yeah, you can see it here. This section is computer science. You can go to, for example, computer programming. I've been trying to do some stuff there and I've taken a couple of courses there. So you too, you can also take some courses here and you can be sure that, and it's also very interactive, just like Free Code Camp. It's a very lovely resource. Today I want to get into coding a tribute page. A tribute page. This is one of the 5 projects that you must do to be able to get a certification from Free Code Camp in this series we are running. The first one was a survey form, which we did a couple of days back, and this one is a tribute page. And I want to code a tribute page to an Amazon, Dr. Okonjo Iweala. Yeah, she is a very prominent Nigerian, Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. Currently, she's the Director General for the WTO, the World Trade Organization. So I really want to just code a tribute page for her. So I'm going to follow these instructions. I'm going to run through this very quickly so that I wouldn't take so much of time on this. So the first thing here, you know how we do it on each time we are starting our coding, we put in the basics. So very quickly you try to put in the basics there, and as you put in the basic building blocks of your website is always the same anytime you are putting together your web page. Okay, so these are the building blocks. Of course, like we always say, you will not be able to see this on your web page, but the search engines will definitely see it. So we put in the language there, which is English language, and we progress to put in the header element. Yeah, the head element. So we put in the head element there, and inside the head element we have the meter element there as well. And when we put the meter, we need to indicate what the character set is. So the char set is there, and of course, you know, we use the UTF-8. That's what we use, UTF-8. Okay, so these are basics is in every web page. And what I like to add is an element that can help me control the viewports. Yeah, so I would like to put that meta name viewports there, so that it can help me to control the um, size of my picture, because remember that I want to be able to code the tribute page for Dr. Ngozi Okenjiwala, and I'm going to be able to put in her picture. So this will help me so that it will, irrespective of the device you're using, it can appear good, well aligned. So I'm going to put that. For the contents, I'm going to indicate that the width of the page will be equivalent to the width of the device you are using. Okay, so whatever device you are using, you can be sure that is going to be covered. All right, so that's what I want to indicate, so that the scaling can be appropriately with whatever device you've got. All right, now having indicated that, I'm going to close my meta tag. Okay, then I need to indicate the title. Okay, remember that all of these are not visible on the web page, so I need to indicate the title so that the all the search engines can be able to properly understand what this whole page is all about. So my title, of course, is just very straightforward. It is just tribute page, and this tribute page, I also need to put in my CSS style sheets. This is always important so that your web page can behave properly. Yeah, so I put in my style sheet there for my CSS, and I also need to indicate that the link for my CSS will just be that styles.css. All right, now having been able to establish these basic building blocks, then I can now progress to indicate the style for my page, the CSS for my page. So I'm going to indicate this. This takes care of whatever I'm going to come up with in my CSS. Okay, it's going to be domiciled here. So I will leave this here. When I'm ready to play around with my CSS, I'll come back to it. So the next thing that I can now go into is to go into the body of my page, the body of my tribute page. Okay, so in the body of my tribute page, that is where everything that can be visible on the site is now going to show. Okay, so remember that this my CSS style elements, they are all inside the head element. So let me close the head element. Okay, I'll close the head element, and I now progress and open the body element, and this is where every other thing that I'm going to work on is going to appear, that is going to show on my web page. So on my body element, so in the body element, I am asked to, and now go to these instructions, this user story. So your tribute page should have a main element. Okay, so I simply indicate main element, and I'm also asked to, in the main element, there should be an ID of main. So how do I show that? So I open the main, and inside I'll just indicate ID should be main. It's just very straightforward. There is no confusion there. ID is main. All right, and I'll close that. So that's my main element. Okay, and within this main element, that's where I'm going to capture every other thing I'm going to have in the body. Okay, every other thing I'm going to have. Yeah. All right, so that's everything I'm going to have in the title rather. So now I have my main element there, and I'm asked to have, you should see an element with an ID of title. Okay, so simply I should bring in an element with an ID of title. So let me put that as my headline. All right, that's my headline. So my h1 element I'll give it an ID of title, and h1 element ID of title. Okay, and my title is simply the name of the person I'm writing the tribute for, Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. That's the title for this tribute. Sorry, I think Okonjo should be, yeah, I got it now. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. So it is from this point that you start seeing what I'm now doing if you now visit my page. This is, so everything I had previously is not visible. From this point onwards, you now begin to see what I'm doing. Okay, so Ngozi Okonjo Iweala. Then I will close my h1 elements. Closing your elements, very important. The opening tags and the closing tags, very, very important. Okay, now the next thing I'm asked to do here is that I'm asked to, you should see either a figure or a div element with an ID of, with an image ID, right? Image div. So I can either use a figure or I can use a div element. So any of them works. So basically I can do a div, yep, with an ID, and I'm told to call the ID image div. Okay, so img, yeah, div. So that's what I'm asked to call it. That's what I'm asked to call it. Now in this, okay, remember that each time it's always good to have your closing tag so that you don't forget it somewhere along the line. Okay, all right. And even when I open the HTML up there, I should also close it down here. Very important, otherwise at some point you might just forget, and you'll be so rattled, you'll be wondering where the confusion in your in your coding is coming from. All right, so, and I'm asked that within this image div element, that I should be able to have an image element with a corresponding ID image. So I should have an image element with a corresponding ID image. So at this point, I need to bring in my image element, and that is img. Yep. So I need to include the source of the image. Where is this image going to come from? Where is it going to come from? I can just go back to where I have the image of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Just copy that link. I'll copy the link, then I bring it down there and paste it. Very cool. So you can see that with that, the image will simply come up there. So, but I am asked to, here in the instruction, I'm asked that there should be an ID with image. Okay, so I should have that ID and I should call it image, and I should also indicate the odds, because sometimes, for example, you can see that at this particular point in time, my network is a bit slow, so the picture has not really fully loaded. So I need to indicate this odds in case someone's network is so slow that the picture has not loaded, so the person will have an idea of what is in that picture. So I'm going to indicate that this is a picture of Dr. Okonjo Iweala, picture of Ngozi Okonjo, okay, Iweala. So that is how that works. So someone seeing it will definitely know that that is what that picture is, even if it doesn't load as quickly as it ought to. Now, having done this, I go back to the user story again. The next thing I'm supposed to see is within the image div element, you should see an element with a corresponding ID, image caption. Okay, I should see an element with the corresponding caption, with the corresponding ID, image caption, that contains textual content describing the image shown in the image div. Okay, so we're going to be taking this one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. Now, I'm including that information here, that is image caption. So I have an image div element. So within this image div element, I have this other one there inside, and so I have my div, and the ID is image caption, img dash caption. That's what I'm told to call it. Okay, all right. Now, having done this, of course I need to remember to close it. Okay, I need to indicate what this caption is. So what will this caption be? So I need to indicate, and so this caption is Ngozi Okonjo. Now, this is the caption that will appear under the picture. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala, Director General. Director General. Yeah. Director General of the World Trade Organization. All right, so that's the caption that will appear under the image. So having done this, I now need to close the div element. Okay, I need to close it. So the next thing I am asked to do is that I should be able to bring in, you should see an element with a corresponding ID, tribute info, element with a corresponding ID, tribute info. So basically, this is how you keep going on and on and on and on until you're able to capture all the user stories here. And because I wouldn't want this video to be terribly long, I think you get the hang of what I am driving at. You get the hang of it, and I will just fast forward and show you what the finished product should look like when I finish. Okay, so But before I do that, let me run the tests and see what I've done so far. Okay, see what it shows me, that I got the first item on the user story. However, this one has a challenge. Oh yeah, because I haven't completed that. I have not completed that. So he's saying that your image div, your image caption, your tribute info, and tribute link should all be descendants of the main. Remember that this is the main here. Okay, saying that all these should be the descendants of the main. All right, now what that means is that somewhere down there I also need to close the main element, the closing tag for the main element. Okay, I need to close it somewhere down there. They should all be inside the main element. But however, you get the flow of what I'm doing here. You get the picture, and this one passed through. The title was correct. Your title should not be empty. Yeah, it says the title should not be empty. That is here. Where is that? Okay, that's here. No, that is not. Look at it here, the title. So I got the title is Ngozi Kunjiwala, and you say you should have a figure or div element with an ID of image div, which I've got here, and you should have. So all of these have gone through. That's scaled. Now the remaining ones that I've not done, yes, as I keep imputing them, so I simply go back to the user story. So by the time I finish it up, these ones that have not passed yet, they will all pass. So I hope you have gotten this, and I hope that it works for you, and I hope you give it a trial. All right, so this is how it works. I look forward to seeing what you have done. Drop a comment in the comment section, and we'll be able to keep firing on this. Remember that you can always get this right. So the finished product is what I have here. The finished product is what I have here. Okay, all the information about Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and when I move this, so you can see that the size fits into my viewports. Okay, about the Amazon and the picture and everything. Okay, so that's basically it. I look forward to hearing from you. I wish you all the best. It's been nice having you around. My name is Charles Nwahiwe. We are learning together. I'm your business coach, yeah, but we're learning together. We are all doing this together, and together we'll be able to get to where we're going. Remember that whether you're in business, or whether you're an independent consultant, or whether you are a student, or even just someone, a career person, you're working and you like to be able to learn coding, and you're asking yourself, why do you need to learn this? Why do you need to learn coding? Why do you need to learn programming? I just like to encourage you that you can learn it. Like Quincy said, you can learn it and you can get a job, and you can even get a promotion, and you can even use it to be able to advance your business, because he said that he was able to do this, and that within he never had any previous coding experience. He said, I was an English teacher who had never programmed before, and I was able to learn enough coding to get my first software development job in just 1 year. I want to encourage you to go and read this book. It's a very interesting book. All right, see you in the next video. Bye for now.